Hello, my crafty friends. This today is a tutorial on a little file folder journal that I made, and I just showed you that I had made it. I didn't show how to make it on a video that I called Thinking Outside the Tutorial. But several people asked me how I actually made it, and so I'm going to show you. When this is what it looks like, and I used envelopes for my signatures. So first let me go through and tell you what you're going to need in order to do this. You're going to need 16 envelopes, 8 for each signature. And for this one, you know, the number 10 envelope works good. You just have to cut off a little here, and a little here. And that works good. So that's what we're going to use. You need a cutting mat, an X-Acto knife. I didn't have my X-Acto knife out. An X-Acto knife, a bone folder or something that you can use to burnish the creases, a pen to make marks, some 1/2-inch masking tape if you have it. It's not essential. I'll show you how I used it in a little bit, but like I said, it's not essential. You can do this without it. But I think it'll be helpful. I haven't actually used it yet to make sure that it'll, you know, it's as big a deal as I think it is, but I really think it'll be helpful. And then you need a file folder. Now this one is made with this legal size file folder, and not everybody has legal size file folders. And one of the ladies who asked me to do a tutorial on it said she didn't have the big file folder. All she had was this size. So I decided I would make one this size too, and I would see how similar I could make it to this, even though it's smaller. And first I'm going to show you this one, and then I'm going to show you my templates for both of these, and then we'll actually use these file folders here and make some. But it opens like this. It's got a 3/4 inch back on it, so you could sew 2 signatures in if you want to, or you could put some holes in here and do it Midori style if you want to. It has a page with a pocket like this and a pocket like this, and then your signatures go in here, and then there's another pocket here and a pocket here, and then this is your flap that goes over the top. So it's a pretty cool thing to be able to make out of a file folder. But in order to have this folded over pocket and have, you know, this in here, you need it to be the big file folder. Excuse me. Having said that, I did make a decent simile of it with a smaller file folder and 2 pieces of scrapbooking paper for those little pockets. Now you'll see this one has a pocket like this on here, and then it has a little pocket here and a little pocket over here, and then a big pocket in here. You'll see that this one has 2 pockets like this, and then it has the pocket like this and the pocket behind here. They're in different places, but you've got all the same pockets. It's the same 3/4 inch binding and has a flap. Because of the size of the folder compared to this one, this is the template of the bigger one, you had to, you know, rearrange things in order to get it to work. But it does work, which is pretty cool, I think. So I will show you how to make this one, as well as this one that's made like this. And I'm going to go through and do each step on each one, on both of them, so that we can make them both at the same time. So if you have 2 kinds of file folders, you might want to go get one of each just for fun and do one of each of them. Then you can decide which one you like the best. This one's the easiest, actually, because it's you don't have to cut off anything from this file folder in order to make these pockets. And on this one, you cut this piece right here off, and you cut this piece right here off. So you're, and then you use this piece to make your little pockets. And I guess you could make tags with this one. It's up to you. But the first thing you do is you decide where your binding is going to be, where your back is going to be. And that is 7 inches. You start at 7 inches from this end. And that way you have plenty of room for your 4-inch book and a cover to fold over. So let's go, and this one's the same way. It's well, it says 6 7/8 inches, because it's not quite, it's not as big as this one. So let's do this one at 6 7/8 inches. This one at 7 inches. It's important to get that measurement right, because the first thing you're going to do is measure it, and then you're going to cut the back so that it's only attached this 3/4 inches that's your binding. The rest of this we're going to cut, because that way we can have our 4 pages. If you leave them like this, you can't have 4 pages. So what I did was just put it on my mat and measure over 7 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And put a mark. And then I went 3/4 of an inch and put another mark. So that's pretty easy. Do the same thing on this one, only it's 6 7/8 inches. So I'm going to do it down here where I can see the 7/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7/8. So it's right there. And then 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch would be 1, 2, 3. Would be right here. Okay, and now we're going to cut both of those. You don't have to cut it this way. It's just the way that I did it. It's easier for me. It's just to put a ruler right up next to the line, where you're going to be cutting. And an X-Acto knife. Make sure it's right snug up there. And cut to that spot. And then move it and do the same thing from here. Okay, so now we've got our 4 pages and our binding right there. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. Okay. Now I went off just a tiny tad right there. I don't think it's a big deal, but try to be as exact as you can. So there's your 4 pages of this one. Okay. Now the next thing that we do, we're not going to need the X-Acto knife anymore. The next thing that we're going to do is start our folding. Okay. Now you're going to want to fold both of these on this side, but only the top one on this side. It's actually probably easier to go ahead and do your center back first. So let's just do that first. So what I do is just put my ruler, line this up on my mat, and then I line my ruler up. Okay, let's just move this so that line is even with that 10. Now I got to find the most important thing is to find it make sure this is lined up over here on this side with a line, so you're not cutting crooked. I mean, folding crooked, because I did fold one crooked and it didn't work very well. Okay, so we're this mark over here and right there, and it just looks crooked as it can be, but I have confidence that my ruler is telling me the truth here, so we're going to go ahead and fold. Now then, I'm going to take the ruler out and burnish it again. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to line that back up so we know it's the only way for me to know I'm going straight. Okay. And then we're going to fold this. And then burnish it here. Okay, so now we've got those two folds, which are our back. Now when we get this ready to put it together, we're going to just glue or tape or do double-sided tape right down the center of that and glue those two together. And that way you'll have 2 pages here and 2 pages here. Okay, there's that one. And now let's do this one. We'll do the same thing. Line it up. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is that I did cut off, on this one, I did cut off the tab. Oh dear, I didn't do a very good job with that. Wow, that's really not wanting to cut off. Okay, I did cut off the tab. And on this one, I didn't, because my tab was in the front. And I think one that's in the front, I think it's fine to have it be big, but you can cut it off if you want to. But for this green one, where the tab was right where the fold is going to be, I had to cut it off. Okay. Now then, let's go back to this again. What reminded me of that was that it was in my way of measuring. Okay, a little bit. And we're going to fold it over. Okay. And then we'll burnish it. And then we're going to go over here. Okay. Okay, now we've got both of those. On this one, we've got to make an extra fold on this side in both places. And we want this to be 4 inches here, because we want our book, as you know, it's going to be 9 by 4. Let me see if I wrote that down somewhere. I just showed where it was. I didn't measure it, but we want it to be 4 inches. So start there and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And so right there. Okay, we're going to fold both of those over. And then I'm going to take that out and burnish them again. Okay, now this one we're going to be gluing down to make a pocket just like this. This one we're going to cut off. I think that's right. Let me make sure. Yeah, fold over and glue. This one we're going to cut off. Okay. So this right here, we need to take off. And so I just do it with a cutter. And if you do it at this point, it's way easier than trying to do it once you've glued that book together, because that's how I did my other one. I had already glued the book together when I decided I wanted to cut it off. So we take that off. Okay, so that's going to fold down. This is going to be here. And then we can use a little piece of this for a pocket right here. So we might as well go ahead and cut that. So I just kind of marked it with my fingernail there. Okay, so there's that pocket. Now you may need it to be a little bit smaller so that it'll fold. No, that's going to be perfect. Okay, so there's that. And now we want to fold this one over 4 inches from here. So we've got to remember to keep our 4 inches. So I'm going to put that on that line. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is right there. Now this time we're only going to fold the top one, because the bottom one is our cover, where the cover folds over. All right, what did I do with my bone folder? Probably under there, yeah. Okay. Now, this one we're going to go ahead and cut off as well. You don't have to. If you wanted to have another one of these pockets instead of this pocket down here, you could leave this like this, and then you could have another slide-in pocket, and then you'd have a pocket behind it. But I wanted 2 of these short ones, so I'm cutting it off. Okay, it kind of gets in your way when you're trying to cut it here. All right, get that. Okay, there's that. Okay, so this is what we've got right now. It's kind of a butterfly. 2 short ones here, 2 long ones here. This long one's going to be folded like inside. This long one's going to be our cover on the outside. Does that make sense? All right, now let's cut one more of these. I think this would be the right side, yeah. Okay, we're just going to cut one off of here now. This one's a little bit bigger. That doesn't matter. Okay, so now I've got these 2 pieces, and then I've got these 2 leftovers we can use for tags if we want to. But these 2 pieces we need to keep, so we need to make sure that they stay with this so we don't lose them. All right. We'll put that with this. And now we need to do this one. Okay, so here we've got our 2 flat pieces, and we're going to use scrapbook paper to make pockets for these. And I'm going to wait and choose my scrapbook paper after I finish decorating it so that I know I'll pick something that matches. If you've got a color scheme in mind already, then you could go ahead and pick your scrapbook paper and go from there. Okay, now once again, we want 4 inches from this seam. 1, 2, let's make sure it's at a even here. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here, right before the 12, Oh, I need to go this way. Sorry. A little bit after the 12 because we're going to fold it. I don't know why this is harder for me to do, this one. Okay, now we're just picking up the top one. Okay. And once again, our bone folder. Okay. Now what you got when you glue this down right in here, you're going to have 2 pages here, and you can have pockets on both of those pages just like this, or you can have a pocket on this page and a pocket on this page. That's up to you. Then you're going to have a tuck spot over here and a pocket behind it. And then this is the part that folds over. Okay, so that's how you do that one. And then we've got this one. And we've got it, you know, the bones of it made. Now we've got to decorate it. I went ahead and gessoed some so that I could go ahead and decorate it and it wouldn't be a problem. Get those out of the way. What I did with this tape is where it's going to be, and I did this for 2 reasons, where it's going to be glued down. This way, after you do all your painting, you can pull that tape off and you'll have clean paper to glue down. I think it'll glue better that way. Another reason is this way you know this is the inside and this is the real inside, and then this is the cover, you know, so you can kind of know where you're at because your tape is where it's going to be glued down. And I did that on both of them. I put the tape, you know, all the way down it. This one really bowed up on me, and so I got fingerprints all over it, but we're going to cover it up, so hopefully it'll be okay. But it'll be like this. Okay, so the first thing we want to do now is we want to decorate those somehow. And these are my 2 pieces I cut off, so I'm going to decorate those 2. And you could have decorated the whole thing before you did all your folds and stuff, but I think it works better if you've already got your folds in there before you decorate it. I think it's more likely to fold better after it's decorated if it was folded before, rather than trying to fold over all that paint for the first time. That's my way of thinking anyway. If you do it a different way and it works out great, let me know. Then I won't tell people that anymore. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to move this because I don't want to paint on it. And then we're going to decorate these. I probably should have gone ahead and had some decorated, and that way you didn't have to watch me decorate them. But I wasn't thinking that way. So I could decorate them and then come back and show you how to put it together. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll decorate it off camera so you don't have to watch me do that. And then I'll come back and put it together, because this is not a decorating tutorial. It's a how to build it tutorial. Alrighty. So it'll be a second for you and a couple of hours for me. Be back in a Okay. I got my papers decorated. Here's the 2 sides of this one. And then here's the 2 sides of this one. Now, I told you to put masking tape down the center, you know, on the side where you're going to stick it together. And, ooh, that may not have been a good plan. I did that because I think that this will stick together. Ooh, got some tape there. Will stick together better if it's paper to paper. The only downside to that is if you do like I did and you go in blind when you're decorating and you just decorate both sides, then and you like one side better than the other side, then you may wish that other side was your outside instead of your inside. Anyway, I'm going to put down some score tape here, and that's how I'm going to put this together. You can glue it if you want, or you can do a combination of the two. I think I'm actually going to do double score tape here and go right down. Ooh, it's getting crooked. Okay. Now then, we're just going to take it and, let me move that out of the way, sorry. Kind of burnish it down. And pull it up. And that was sticking out a little bit, so I'm just going to tuck it down. And then you know, stick it together. And now you've got 4 pages. There is a little bit, you know, of having to rescore or impress your folds on it. And then you decide, and this one I need to tape it down too. We'll do this on both of them, get them put together. Come on. Sometimes I have trouble grabbing that without trying to pull up the tape, and kind of defeats the purpose. All right, let's try it again here. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now you've got a pocket right here. And then you can either put a pocket right here, or you can put 2 pockets here. But then we're going to also tape this down, so you have a pocket back there. Yeah, I think that's right. It's kind of crooked. I must have not got that exactly perfect. Well, that's the way I roll. Unfortunately, that happens to me a lot. Guess it's a good thing that it was this side where the tape went awry and pulled up that, and not the other side, because I'm going to hide this side. The other side will show. Come on. Well, it's not wanting to come loose today. Here we go. Okay. All right. So that's crooked, but here, you know, on this side, and that's because of this. Now then, this is the one that was the green one, like this, where it has a pocket there and a pocket here, and a pocket there and a pocket there. That's what we're doing. So, so let's go ahead and put, I think I'm going to do it this way though, because those will look better if I do it here and there instead of on this side. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm making an adjustment. Making an adjustment on the fly. Now you might want to do some glue instead of this, or some skinnier tape, so your pocket, you know, doesn't lose some of its width based on the tape. But I'm not worrying about that. Just deciding which way I want the pocket to go. I think I like it like that. So we'll put this tape down here. Okay. And I'm not going to make this go all the way to the edge. So I'm going to leave it just a little bit. And then we'll do this one the same way. Okay. Put this over here. Another piece in between. Alrighty. Okay. Now then, what we're going to have here is I used envelopes for my signatures, and I'll show you how I did this. It's pretty easy. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 is going to be one signature. And we're just going to sew it in right there, or I may use the Midori style binding. I'm not sure. I'll have to think of that in a minute. But your envelopes fit right in there, and it makes a nice little journal. So there's one signature. And then here is another one. I think I may do one of these with the Midori style and one of them with the sewn in signatures, just so we can see it done both ways. Here's 2 signatures. So it'll be, you know, about like that. So you work in it, but you got room here for it to get fatter. And then we'll put some kind of tie on it. Okay, so this one. If you've got your signatures in here, you'll open it up and there'll be a pocket there. And then you can do whatever you want to there. You might just decorate that page, or you might add another pocket. You could add another pocket right there. And then there's a pocket here, and your 2 signatures, and another pocket right here, and then a pocket back here. So you've got plenty of room to store your stuff. I think it makes a nice little journal. And so let's set aside and let's put this one together. This is the one that was made out of the manila colored file folder. And this one didn't tear the paper like the green one did. Oh, well, I say that, and then there it goes. Let me try from this end and see if I can. Nope, it's just going to do it. Okay. So it didn't tear it on one, but it tore it on the other. And that may have something to do with heating it. You know, when I was drying it, or I don't know why this didn't tear and this did. Anyway, we'll put it together like that. And then we'll make our tuck spot here. And it's basically the same book. But let's start with this. It's kind of hard to see the. There we go. Take this off. I'm kind of worrying now because of the. I should have left some of it on there. Okay, we're just doing it like that. Redo our creases. And now we'll stick this down. Our little. Oh, that wasn't quite enough. Well, I'll add some more to it in a minute. Me and this tape. I have a love-hate relationship here. I'm going to add a little bit more because I know I didn't get it all the way out to the edge. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm just going to add a little bit more right out here to the edge. Okay. Okay. Now, this is where we're going to have our pocket, you know, and the file folder kind of comes out here. So I'm just going to glue it right there. So that part will be kind of free. And this part will be glued all the way out. It's okay if you go past it. Won't hurt anything. On this side, I'm going to start from here. Okay. Now, I told you you were going to need a piece of scrapbook paper or something. I have this paper I was thinking about using. It's not as thick as the cardstock scrapbook paper, but it's thicker than the regular scrapbook paper, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. I think it'll be fun. And I'm going to put both of those pockets right here. So I'm tempted to just do one piece and then just put a piece of tape here. That way on this side, it won't be as thick. A piece of tape on each side. Does that make sense? We're going to see. All right, let me go ahead and cut this. And let's make it about 3 inches. I think that's about what those other ones were on the other one. All right, let's take a little bit off here. And leave just a little bit of the blue on this side. Okay, I'm going to need to take a little bit more off here. That may not have been quite enough. Kind of hard to do just a little bit. Okay, let's put this down right here. Okay. And I'm gonna put the tape on this book and then add the paper to it. Make sure that's okay. Now let's go ahead and put this one on. Okay. That may not work because it's this has a little bit of a bump and it makes this not even. So I'm gonna have to cut it, I think. Seemed like a great idea, but it didn't quite work the way I thought it would. Okay. I forgot to do the bottom. Hey, don't make that mistake. I'll have to stick some glue under there. That's what I'll do. Here we go. It's fixable. It's fixable. Okay. I'm actually just going to glue this one down since I've already got don't think it'll hurt anything to do it 2 ways. Okay. I'm not going to open that one because it needs to dry. But we've got our 2 pockets here. We'll put our signatures in there. We have a tuck spot here and a pocket back here. And then our closer, our wraparound, whatever you want to call it. So there are the 2 journals. They're pretty much the same. Oh, this one may need shorter envelopes. Yeah, see, I'll have to cut these envelopes down a little bit for this one. But that's okay. I've got envelopes over there that I haven't cut yet, so I'll just make them a little smaller for this one. And we'll just put them in. This is the one I had thought that I would just, let's see. Actually, I think I'm going to sew into this one and do Midori style in this one. Because when that pulled out, this one got weaker. And this one's still pretty strong. So this is the one we're going to do Midori style. So let's go ahead and get my, let me find my pen. Don't want to mess up my glue. Okay. Let me get my hole punch thing. Okay. I always have to watch it and see where is that hole really. Yeah, it has to be 2 holes. Okay. All right, we're going to do one right there. One right there. Then we'll come down here and do pretty much the same thing. So we've got 4 holes. And then let's run our elastic. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this blue. I also need to do a hole in the middle though for the the elastic thingy that, and I'm not measuring it, so if you're a measurer, I'm sorry. Okay. Let's just, there they are. Okay. So we're going to go out from in here and back in. And then we're going to go out from here. Let's cut that. Out from here and back in. And then we'll tie these right here. Okay. Now I think I'm going to go ahead and tie another knot just to be a little safer. Probably not necessary, but okay. And then we need, I'm going to use the same, I think, for the wraparound. Let's see. Okay. See if we can get that to go through here. Come on. There we go. Okay. I think this is going to be too loose. Actually, I'm going to leave it just like that. I think that'll be fine. And then when we get our signatures ready, I don't have them ready yet, but when we do, and these are, like I said, a little bit too long, but they're just going to slide right in there. And we'll have our journal. Very cool. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and use these signatures since they fit this other book. I'm going to go ahead and use them and bind them in there. And then I'll put signatures in this one later. Okay, now to do this, oh, it's cracking there. That's not good. Okay. We're going to sew them directly into the book. I could sew them into a piece of something else that I glue down, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay, so I need to make holes in my book. I need a template first. That's what I need. All right. That's not quite big enough. Okay, I'm just going to use I'm trying to think if I want to, how I want to put my holes in here. I'm tempted to go ahead and use that crocodile again to do this and then measure my holes from here, from that. Just because it'll make nice holes in this. And I think the nicer the holes are in this, the better off we'll be. So, okay, I'm just going to do 3 holes. We're going to do it's hard to see here. Okay. And then let's turn it around and do it about that far from this end. And then kind of in the middle here. Okay, those are definitely not perfect either, but they're going to work fine. So I'll take this. Actually, I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it backwards. And I'm going to mark where those holes are. All right. Then I'll put this in here. Like this. And we'll punch those holes. Okay. Let me get a couple of clamps real quick. All right. And then we're just going to sew this in. Let's check and make sure that the holes measure. Okay, it's got to go this way. It's got to go one way or the other because it's, yeah. Okay, it needs to go like this. What am I going to sew these in with? Let me look for something real quick. Okay. Fibers I found at the thrift store. I'm going to have to take them apart here. There we go. These are the ones I'm going to use. And I'm going to go ahead and use 2 of them because I know my my holes are kind of big and I want them to be stable. Actually, I might use 3. There's plenty for me to use 3. I can grab another one. Okay. Alrighty. And I think I want my ribbons to be in the middle, so I'm going to just put that down right there. Come back in from here and out from there. And right back in here, but on this side. Okay. That would have been better to do 5, but I don't think I'm going to actually be very rough on this book, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so there's one. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. Take the middle paper and turn it wrong side out. Put it along the holes so I can mark it. Alrighty. And we'll turn this like that. And make holes. Well, let's go ahead and clamp this one before I make holes this time. Probably would have been good last time. Where'd the other one go? Way over there. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's make sure. All right. Let's take these 3. Okay. Do the same thing here. I'll come back up here. Out there. And in here. And anytime you're doing this kind of binding, y'all probably know, but anytime you do this kind of binding, you want to make sure that your 2 strings are on both sides of that string so that they encompass it and hold it in place. Okay. There's that. And I'm not sure what I'm going to use to hold it shut. I'll think about that. But we've got one like this and one like this. And we used 2 different size file folders, and they're pretty much the same journal, which I think is kind of cool. I hope that y'all enjoyed this, and I hope you make some. And when you do, please post pictures of them. God bless you, and have a great day.